Hello, how are you? My name is Chrissy Bergeron. Thank you for taking the time to watch this quick video so I can share my story with you. I started Beachbody 3 years ago, and I want to take you back to where I was and who I was right before I started this journey as a coach. So I was a mom of three, which I still am, and my kids were ages 2, 5, and 8. And I was just kind of living, I call it that hamster wheel. So I was just constantly, going one day into the next, survival mode of being a stay-at-home mom. I had always wanted to be a stay-at-home mom, but we were living paycheck to paycheck. My husband was working as much as he could to, support our family. And I had all of the other duties. So I no longer had my outlet of the gym that I had always used. I had 3 little kids to worry about. I often didn't have time to even eat right, so I was skipping meals. I was actually pretty thin, but I wasn't healthy. So I was kind of like skinny, but not fit, not healthy, not taking care of myself. And I was in this period of time where I just was really looking for something. And I kept fighting with my husband. He had all of these dreams he already owned his own business, and he had all these dreams of opening another business. And I just was like, when is enough going to be enough for you? When are you going to just settle and just be happy with what you have? And what about me? What is there for me? You have all these dreams, and what am I going to be doing while you're out there doing this and that? So we kept having this same fight, and every day was the same. I was grateful to be home with my kids. I love my kids, but I just felt probably the lowest I've ever felt in my life. My self-esteem was at an all-time low. I had never had a problem with loving myself, and for the first time in my life, I would look in the mirror and would just be like, who are you? Like, what happened to you? So around that time, one day I was cleaning incessantly just to deal with all of these issues I had. I would just clean my house every single day, top to bottom, full cleaning job. And one day while the boys were napping, I came across P90X. I didn't even know what it was. There was this Rip guy on the cover, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna pop this in and do a workout. And previously to this, I had always used fitness as my outlet. So I used to be in the gym 5 to 6 days a week, 1 to 2 hours a day. So I knew how to work out. I put the workout in, and it was the hardest workout I had ever done in my life. When it was finished, I kind of sat there in awe. Like, I can't believe I just worked that hard in my living room. And there were moves that I couldn't even do. It was crazy. I was dripping in sweat. I was crying a little bit because I had let so much out during that workout. And so the next day when the boys napped, I did the same thing, put the workout in again. And that following Monday, I was like, you know what? I'm going to do this program. So for the next 90 days, I did it. I did P90X. I got it out. I left it all there on that living room floor every day. And at the end, I felt really, really good about myself. I felt strong and accomplished, and people were saying to me like, what are you doing? What are you doing? And I kept telling them, yeah, well, I did P90X. I had no idea even what Beachbody was. So I was doing that, but my husband and I were still having the same argument about him starting this second business and all these other dreams he had, and me not having something for me. And one day I looked at him and I said, okay, you know what? You do what you got to do. I don't want to get to the end of our lives and have you tell me that I held you back from something, but I'm going to find something for me. I'm going to do something. So I looked into, I'm a former high school teacher, and I always plan to go back. So I thought about tutoring. And then I thought about selling jewelry or something like that, but I really wasn't a salesperson, and I really didn't want to have to schedule time out at night away from my family to do something. So I just kept kind of spinning my wheels. And one day my best friend said to me, and we actually had started T25. So my best friend and I were doing T25. She was coming over every morning. We were doing T25 together. So I was like having this perfect storm. Okay, so like I was doing T25. I was having the same argument with my husband. I was looking to provide some income, bring some income to the family, and have something for me. But I didn't want to sacrifice time away from my family. So I was like kind of stuck. And she said, there's this girl on Facebook. She went to school with my husband, and she's like, you need to talk to her. She's you, but somehow she's doing a business. Like she's doing T25 right now, and somehow she's making money doing it. She's getting paid. She's running this whole business. So I was like, okay. So I got in contact with my now coach, Candace. And the day it took me a while to contact her. The day I contacted her, I knew I was going to do it, but it still took me 31 days, 31, maybe 29, between there, 29 and 31 days, a whole month to actually bite the bullet and do it. And like, that's actually my biggest regret. Like those 4 weeks that I just sat with it and knew I was going to do it and didn't. You know, I've had to let it go, but I regretted it. But everything happens for a reason, right? So when I started, I really know, I know how this sounds, but everything changed literally the moment I started. I was welcomed into this community. I was celebrated every single day for who I was. I was encouraged to be me. I was encouraged to celebrate who I was. And, you know, at that time I was barely on Facebook. I had like 100 Facebook friends. I was a person who was so self-conscious, so unsure of myself, so wrapped up in what someone else would think or say about me, that I would be like, I would go to comment, I would actually write out a comment on someone's post, and then I delete it because I was like, oh no, they don't care, you know? Or I'd write out a post and delete it and never post it. That's how self-conscious I was. And starting coaching, you know, I was encouraged to, okay, like talk to people, get some people going, help other people find their voice, find their strength, find these awesome programs, change their lives. And through doing that, I changed my life. So I went from being this really self-conscious, skeptical, I have to say like borderline negative person. I was starting to get very, very down and anxiety ridden, and all of a sudden my world opened up and I started to see my potential, and I started to see myself in this different way as someone who could, you know, work on myself and even better, help others work on themselves, which in turn kept helping me work on myself. So 3 years in now, I've replaced my teacher's income. My youngest is headed to kindergarten in the fall. And if I go back to teaching, it will be on my terms. It will be because I want to. I have the option to teach part-time or at a private school, which has actually always been, as far as teaching, my teaching dream would be like to do a private school. Or I can keep doing what I'm doing 100% and, you know, not go back to teaching at all. It's all my choice. I have the freedom of choice now, and it's very freeing. I've conquered tons of fears. I used to not fly. I've been flying like 2 to 3 times a year. I just got back from an amazing trip to Utah. I never thought I would go to Utah, like never in my life. And we had our leadership retreat there, and I swam in a crater. I climbed a mountain. It's just unbelievable when you come into this community and you're surrounded by other people who are on this mission to just take one step out every single day out of their comfort zone toward their full potential and use their gifts to help themselves and others. It's amazing the world that it opens up. So thank you for listening to my little spiel. That's my story. And hopefully someone listening to this can relate and, you know, can take that next step of looking into what this business actually has to offer. what these products actually have to offer. And, you know, one thing I know for sure, if you plug in and you use our programs 100% and you come into the opportunity 100%, you will not fail. You will change your life. You will find what you're looking for. You will get what you want. So that's my story. Thanks for listening. God bless you guys.